up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to put this new battery into the ZX10, and I learned a few things about batteries and I'm going to share those with you. So this is what we call a valve regulated, factory activated, I had to think about it, valve regulated, factory activated, maintenance free battery. So let's back that up and let's start with valve regulated. There's actually a valve inside the battery that is responsible for the safe release of oxygen and hydrogen while the battery is being charged, which is while you're riding the motorcycle, or if you have a off season and you have the battery on a battery tender, that would be another situation where that valve is supposed to open and safely release these oxygen and hydrogen gases. That's the valve regulated part. Factory activated basically just means that it comes from the battery manufacturer filled with whatever lead acid fluids it needs. It's ready to go. You don't have to do anything. Maintenance free means kind of the same thing. This battery is sealed, so you never ever have to pop open the top of the battery and refill the various chambers inside the battery. If you've ever done that before, you know what I'm talking about. So valve regulated, factory activated, maintenance free, and all of that stuff put together just basically means that you pull this thing out of the box and you drop it in. It's just a drop-in replacement. There's no pre-charging necessary. It's good to go and it's maintenance free. So the next step is to pop off the seat and gain access to the battery. So for most motorcycles, the battery is going to be underneath the rider's seat. So there's probably a few exceptions out there. I've never owned one of those exceptions. I've got a 97 Suzuki GSX-R 600 over here to my right, and then I've got this 2015 ZX10, and they both have the battery underneath the seat. Two different manufacturers, 20 years apart. Battery hasn't moved. So one thing I complain about with the ZX10 is in order to gain access underneath the seat, the bolts are buried deep inside underneath this top fairing cover. And so you basically gotta take these 4 Allen head bolts out, and then this will slide back, and then you've got access to the seat bolt covers. This lovely 97 Suzuki GSX-R. And you can't tell because the seat's not here, but here's the battery, and the seat ends actually flipped up, and you could gain access to the seat bolts right here and here. And that was really nice because I didn't have to take any fairings off and I could pull the seat out. They seem to have regressed a little bit in accessibility over the years. I highly recommend, if you don't have a set of T-handles, to get a set of T-handles, because in the right situation, they are so convenient. All right, we got ourselves a little bit of an interesting dilemma. The battery on the right is the battery that came with the bike, and I just pulled it out. Battery on the left is what the bike shop gave me the other day, and you can see that they got different model numbers on them, and physically they are different in dimensions. The battery on the right, as you can see, is not quite as wide. And what you might not be able to see is it's a tad bit taller. So this will bring me to my next tip. Most manufacturers will have a website where you can plug in different models, and they'll tell you which motorcycles or vehicles that particular model battery supports. So let's go take a look at that. So looking at the manufacturer's website, I'm sad and disappointed because it means I have to go back to the bike shop tomorrow. Unfortunately, the new battery does support the ZX10R, but not the non-ABS model in my year. So while I probably could make this battery physically fit, it does have a different amp hour rating, and I just don't want to take any chances. So we will take the model of the old battery back, and we'll take the new battery back, and we'll see if we can't get it exchanged for the right battery. Hopefully they have the right one in stock, and you'll see everything in real time, but I will finish this video tomorrow. All right, it's the next day, and you know it's the next day because I put some text on the screen that told you it was the next day. It really is the next day, despite the fact that I'm wearing the same shirt I wore yesterday. It's just, it really is the next day. So on my lunch break at work today, I went back down to the bike shop to try and exchange this new battery that I picked up a few days ago for the correct version for this model bike. Unfortunately, I still have the old or the original right battery from the factory that came with the bike because the battery that I need, this one, is out of stock. So I'm playing a waiting game now, but I'm determined to finish this video, so let's get to it. I'm just gonna use the old battery and we're gonna pretend it's new. We're just gonna play pretend. It's brand new. We're gonna stick it back in the bike. I'm gonna share my last 2 tips with you, and we're gonna call that a video, and then I'm gonna go in the house and cry because it's like perfect weather outside and I can't ride my bike. All right guys, 2 more quick tips and then the video will be done. First of the 2 quick tips is when you remove your battery, you wanna take the negative side or the ground off the battery first, and then take the positive off. When you put the new battery back in, this is our fake new battery. Remember, we're playing pretend. I can't believe I'm putting the original battery back in. When you put your new battery back in, you want to attach the positive first and the negative last. It's basically the opposite order of when you're taking the battery out. You want to take the ground off first and then the positive, remove the battery, put the new battery back in, put the positive side on first, and then put the negative side or your ground on last. You'll also notice that I've got a couple extra leads here. I've got one on the positive, one on the negative side, right there. That's for my USB charger, which runs underneath the tank and comes out right here. So I can charge my phone or any of my GoPros while I'm riding my motorcycle. That's a really nice feature to have when you are going for a really long ride and you don't have extra batteries for your GoPros. Or I have a Hero Session 5 which does not have a removable battery, so once the battery dies, the only option I have is to charge it. Okay, with our old pretend new battery mounted back on the bike and everything hooked up, my last tip is before you put your fairing back on, if you have to take a fairing off, before you put your seat back in, go ahead and start your bike up and make sure that all your connections are good, and make sure she fires up like you expect her to before you put all that stuff back together. Not that it's a lot of work, but it is some work, and it would suck to put it all back on, put the key in the motorcycle, turn it, hit the start button, and then nothing happens, right? So do that first, make sure it fires up and everything is in proper working order before you put everything back together. Okay guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something between valve regulated, factory activated, maintenance free, what all those different terminologies mean. And I'm gonna go cry now because I can't ride my bike. It's like 85, 88 degrees outside, lots of blue sky. And what's really gonna happen is after I turn the camera off, I'm gonna take my pretend new battery back out of the bike. And the bike shop's closed for today, so I was hoping that they would call me at the end of the day saying, hey, we got a new battery, and no joy. So we'll try again tomorrow, but that's it, man. That's, man, that sucked. First world problems. I hope you guys have a good one. Keep your rubber side down, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.